All right, welcome. We're going to talk about the one thing we all have, but few of us truly master. It's not money, it's not connections, it's our time. My goal here is to help you really get a handle on this incredible asset, because how you use it will define literally everything you accomplish. So, let's jump right in.
Okay, take a look at this watch. Simple question, right? How much is it worth? You might think about the brand, what it's made of, maybe how old it is. It's a question about an object's value, something we figure out all the time. But honestly, that's not the real question we're here to answer.
But here's where it gets interesting. Forget the metal and glass for a second. How much is the time inside it worth? What's the price of the thing this watch actually measures? 1 hour? 1 minute? 1 single second? Now that is a much harder question, and a powerful little story holds the key.
So, this story kicks off with a father who's, pretty worried about his son. The boy was just kind of lazy, didn't really care about much, and mostly just spent his days wandering around. The father knew his son was wasting his potential, so he decided it was time for a lesson. Not a lecture, but a simple test, all centered around an old family watch.
So the father hands his son this old watch and gives him a pretty straightforward mission. Go to the market and see what people will pay for this. Seems simple enough, right? The son, probably just happy to have an excuse to wander, grabbed the watch and headed out the door.
So the boy gets to the market, starts asking around, and it's a mess. One person offers 500 rupees, the next says 1,000. The prices were all over the map. And what did that prove? Well, it proved that the value of an object is totally subjective. It's just worth whatever someone's willing to pay. The boy went home even more confused than when he started.
The very next day, the father sends him right back out. Same watch, but a totally different and honestly a much weirder question. This time, he wasn't supposed to ask for the price of the watch. He was supposed to ask for the price of the time inside it. I mean, the boy must have been baffled. How in the world do you ask for the price of time?
And yeah, you can probably guess how this went over. People pretty much laughed in his face. Some got annoyed. They all just brushed him off, calling it a foolish question. Can you imagine how embarrassing that must have been? He was just about ready to give up. That's kind of what happens when you ask a question no one's ever really thought about before.
He's just about to quit and head home, totally defeated, when he stops at this little shop run by an old watchmaker. He figures, what the heck, I'll ask one last time. So he hesitantly asks his strange question. And this time, something amazing happened. The old man didn't laugh. He just stopped what he was doing, looked at the boy with this kind smile, and he understood.
And the old man, his words were so simple, but they just hit so hard. He looked right at the boy and laid out the truth he was sent there to learn. You can put a price tag on a watch, sure, but you can never put a price on time itself. And that, right there, is the first huge lesson.
And why is it priceless? Well, think about it. You can always make more money. You can always buy another watch. But you can never, ever buy back a single second that has already passed. Once it's gone, it is gone for good, which makes it way more valuable than all the money in the world.
Then the old man broke down this incredible two-sided nature of time. The bad news? It's always slipping away. You can't pause it, you can't stop it. But the good news, and this is the really empowering part, is that you and only you have complete control over how you spend it. That choice is always yours.
And that right there, that's the great equalizer. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, famous or unknown. Everybody gets the exact same 24 hours every single day. The only thing that separates success from failure is how you decide to invest that daily inheritance.
Okay, so let's bring this home. Let's shift from his story to yours. That boy in the story, that's you. That daily deposit of 24 hours, that's your inheritance. See, this story isn't just about some kid. It's a mirror, reflecting the exact same choice we all have to make every single morning.
And for the boy in the story, man, that was it. The light bulb went on. He finally got it. He ran home, and from that day forward, everything changed. The lazy kid who wandered around aimlessly was gone. In his place was a hard-working, focused young man who treasured every single second. That's the power of one single shift in how you see things.
Which brings us to the choice you make. Every single morning, you're standing at a fork in the road. It's really a tale of two possible days, and the path you walk down is completely and totally up to you.
Just look at these two paths. On one side, you've got the wasted day. That was the boy's old life, just wandering, being lazy, letting priceless moments disappear forever. But on the other side, you have the productive day. That's the path of hard work, of using your time wisely, of treating every second like the treasure it is. Your entire future is built on which one of these columns you decide to live in, day in and day out.
Look, understanding this stuff is great, but it's action that really matters, right? So how do you actually guard this unbuyable treasure? How do you build that self-discipline to choose the productive path every single day? Let's talk about a few simple tools you can start using today.
And these aren't just random tips. Think of them as your personal toolkit for building self-discipline. First, the 15-minute check-in. Just pause every so often and ask yourself, is what I'm doing right now the best use of my time? It's your defense against aimless wandering. Second, the daily task log. Just like the father gave his son a clear task, you have to give yourself one. What are the 3 most important things you need to get done today? Write them down. Give your time a purpose. And third, the end-of-day review. This is where you ask that big question. What was my time worth today? A quick, honest 5-minute look at where your hours actually went, that's the ultimate accountability check.
So here's what it all boils down to. Time is a gift. You get 86,400 seconds deposited into your account every single morning, for free. But just because it's free doesn't mean it's cheap. In fact, it's the most valuable, priceless thing you will ever own.
And this is the thought that should really light a fire under you. You can't save time for later. You can't put it in the bank. And once you spend it, it's gone for good. Every single tick of that clock is a final sale. Spend it wisely.
So, I'm going to leave you with that. The story's done, the lesson is clear, and the clock is definitely ticking. You get it now? You understand the true value of your day? The only question left is the one you have to answer, not with words.